Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Palms are bringing you Legends. And today we're going to talk about team building for beginners. So if you're a high level player, if you've played this game for a while, I guess this video is maybe not for you, but if you just started, maybe you came over from Dokkan and team building there is different, or you came over from other games, then this video is for you. And yeah, we start off with basically the team composition. So you see here one of my teams that I use also in online PvP ranked matches. And the first thing you see is you have 6 cards, and each team member can basically buff the other team members. You can only take 3 of those into battle, and you are free to choose basically whichever you want to take right before that battle, so you can be any of those combinations. The second thing that almost every card has, if we go into details here, you see they have tags, right? Character tags, Saiyan, Super Saiyan, Universe 6. And I think currently there are 2 cards in the game that don't have tags, which are Hercule and Deborah, which makes them less valuable if you want to build a team around a tag. So keep that in mind. We'll get into that a little bit later. But basically, you have 2 choices when building a team: is either building it around color or you want to build it around a tag. Sometimes you have the choice to actually do it around both. But for now, we're gonna just leave it at that. The next thing you want to look at is the abilities, especially the Z abilities, right? So you're gonna look at that, and Z abilities are basically what the characters have that buff everybody in your team. So here you see Kaba is at 5 stars. That means I've limit broken him a couple of times by pulling duplicates, and that increases his Z ability. Every time you have an odd number of stars, the Z ability increases, and an even number increases your stats. So my Z ability for Kaba is 18% to green or Universe 6 base health, which means either you can build it around green cards, or you can put him in a team that has Universe 6 team members. And as you see, Kale and Caulifla, if you watched Super, if not, well, too late for spoilers, are both Universe 6 tags. You see that Caulifla is also Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, and Female Warrior. And yeah, basically, she gets buffed by Kaba, and she gets also buffed by Kale because Kale has a Female Warrior Z ability. So let's take another look at this, because sometimes when you limit break them, they don't just increase the percentage. So here you see 26% to Female Warrior strike attack. If we limit break her to 5 stars, she gains Universe 6 as well. So the same as Kaba, which means that if I would pull her 2 more times, I would also be able, the Kaba would be stronger on my team, because she also would basically buff him. So what that means is that you want to try and optimize your teams basically around those Z abilities. And another thing to actually look at is what kind of cards do they hold. So if we go back to Caulifla, scroll down, you see here arts cards held. She has 2 strike cards, and you want to focus your team, at least if you want to play a PvP, around strike cards. So you start off with 3 strikes, 3 blasts, and 1 blue, 1 green card. And then whatever your characters you choose, dependent on that, you get strike cards, blast cards, and sometimes even green or blue cards. So for example, Hercule has a strike card and a blue card. But what you want to do is look that you have at least 8 or 7 strike cards and 4 or 5 blast cards. You don't want to focus it too much on strikes, I guess, even though that works better than the other way around, because when you have 4 blast cards on your hand, first off, they're more expensive, right? They cost you 29 key if you soul boost your characters fully. And it's hard to fight online with them because the strike cards get priority in speed. So if the opponent is right in my face, I press blast, he presses strike, he will get priority. So focus on strike cards. You will see how many cards you have in the team selection screen once you start a battle. But you can already kind of, calculate that before, seeing, okay, so here we have 2 strikes. Kale has 1 each, so we have 3 strikes, 1 blast, and I think Kaba has 1 each as well. There we go, 4 strikes, 2 blast. So that makes it 7 to 5. And that's a pretty decent ratio, so you can use that. Right, there are special arts cards. Let's see, we can go here, filter for example, for red, and we go to Majin Vegeta. So his strike card actually destroys a single random card on the hand of the opponent's player. So sometimes that is really useful. You want to keep an eye out for those. What you can also have is Paralyze. So if we go to purple and we go to Lord Chilled, you'll see that his strike art has a chance. So it is the destroy card works always, but the paralyze cards have a chance to paralyze the opponent. It doesn't always happen, right? And the other one that has that as well is the Bora, which is blue. And for him, it is the Blast card that actually has this paralyze effect. And he also holds a green card. So sometimes you actually want to build teams around those cards as well. Because, for example, if you use Dabra, who does not have any tags, as you can see, you want to use him in a color team. You want to use him with blue Android 18 because she makes tremendous use of her green card, because you can actually regenerate Vanishing Gauge with that. And that's one of the most important things to maintain control over the combat loop. Right, so we looked into that. So actually let's have a look at tag-based teams first, and then we're going to look into color-based teams. So here, yeah, you're going to be wondering, okay, so I have 3 units, so I'm mainly running Kaba, Kale, and Caulifla, so they're all female or Universe 6, all of them are Universe 6, so you're wondering, okay, what are SSJ3 Goku, Extreme Goku, and Extreme Raditz doing there? That's because all of them share the Saiyan tag, right? All of the units that I'm mainly running. And if we look into the Z abilities of SSJ3 Goku, he buffs Tag Saiyan, Strike Attack, and Blast Defense. If the Extreme Goku buffs 27% Strike Attack for Saiyans, and Raditz buffs Health for all of them. If I were to just put female warriors in there, then Kaba would be relatively weak, and this could actually hurt my team, or it wouldn't be viable in PvP at all. So if we have a look and change just one card, so let's just change Kaba to Mai. You'll see the bench looks tremendously different, and that's because now all of my cards are female. And female warriors they all share that tag, right? So Mai, Kale, Caulifla, which means now I can actually pick units that all buff female warriors. And you may want to have a look into the stats they buff. So because Pan, what does she buff? She buffs Strike Attack, 22%, that's decent. What does she actually buff at 5 stars? 24%, okay. Then we have 18 Sparking, and I think she also buffs Strike Attack and Defense. So that's pretty good, that's pretty useful because Strike is mainly used. And this one buffs Max Base Health. So I could have put in there, for example, the new Extreme Pan, but she only buffs Strike Defense, and it's the same for the Extreme Pan that is purple. So those are not so useful. You want to give something that also gives you attack, you want to have it a little bit balanced, and Kale already only buffs Strike Defense, so that's kind of, you know, not strengthening your team in the offensive section, and that's why you want to keep it balanced. Also, yeah, I'm not going to talk about equipment actually now because I think otherwise the video will be too long. The next part would be color counter teams. So we can go back to the original team because there is actually another team that I can run in here, sorry, which would be the top 3 units, which would be Caulifla, Goku, and Kale. And why that? So if you have 2 purples, purple is weak to yellow, which means that you want to be able to actually swap in a red card which is strong to yellow, just so either you can take care of them, or they will swap out to a different unit where you have neutral or even advantageous typing, so that you can keep pounding on the attacks without just, you know, losing all your damage. The thing is, if I were to run purple, purple, red, in this case, Kaba would be useless. No, actually he wouldn't. He would still buff Caulifla and Kale, but he wouldn't buff Goku. And in that case, I might want to swap in the green Bardock, which buffs Saiyan's strike attack. But I'm not running this. I'm just running as if I see that the opponent has like purple, purple, red as well. But even then, I rarely run that. And basically, that's how all color counter teams work. So you have purple, purple, red, because purple is weak to yellow and red is strong to yellow. You have red, red, and green. It's the same thing. Red gets attacked by blue. Green can take care of blue, right? You have green, green, yellow, which was the meta for a long time with IT Goku, Instant Transmission Kamehameha Goku, Bardock, and Super Vegeta. Same thing. You want to take care of purples. Yellow is yellow, yellow, blue. And then you have blue, blue, and purple. And then you're back to purple, purple, red, full circle once again. So that's how you would build color counter teams. And those can work tremendously well if you take into account also the Z abilities and you buff them enough. So in this case, if I didn't have any units that would buff all of the tags, which is Saiyan, then it would be possible to put in 2 units that buff colors. So 2 units that buff purple and 1 unit that buffs red. So let's just have a look. And if we filter for purple instead of blue, so for example, that Turles buffs purple strike, attack, and defense, and Android 17 buffs base blast attack and defense. So you can find those units that fit the deck best that you have. And for example, also Tao Bai Bai is really good because he buffs health and crit. And then you would just put in 1 that buffs red, basically. And that's how you build color counter teams. So now we already talked a bit about the bench as well. So seeing that here I have Saiyans. Just one more thing maybe I want to say is that, so you're wondering, why do I have 2 extremes in there when I have a ton of Sparkings left? And for an example, look at this 7-star Extreme Goku. He buffs 27% to strike attack, right? 27%. Now if I go back and look into the character list and find some Saiyans that are Sparkings, first one, this one comes to mind, and I don't get why people prefer him over the blue one, is he only buffs 24%. And even at 7-star, he only buffs 25%, which means the extreme buffs gives you more of an attack boost, right? The other one that you would be able to consider is Bardock, because he also buffs Saiyan base strike attack, but it's the same as Goku, 24-25. So feel free to leave extremes in as a bench. In PvP, most of the times then it's obvious which units you're going to take, but whatever. In the end, it's about skill anyways. And Raditz, for example, he buffs all Saiyan max base health, and he's almost 7-star. I just need 29 Z power, so I just need 1 more. And he will buff 18% health, so you get a bunch more HP. And that is basically how you build your bench. So as I already said, for color counters, prefer the color that you have 2 of and put in 1 for the color that you have 1 of. So here, 2 purples, 1 red. Or find common tags and then just build a tag-based team altogether. Right, the next thing would be unique abilities. So you would look, why am I taking this team over that team, even though here I have probably more boost because of the female bench. And that's because Kaba is designed to work well with Universe 6 and Vegeta characters. If you look into his unique abilities, so those are things that only work when your character is on the field. If you look at this one, whenever this character is switched into standby, that means you start with him and then you switch him out for a different character. Either Vegeta or any character with the tag Universe 6 gets 40% strike buff. So his strike attacks or her strike attacks will be 40% stronger. And that's why I'm playing him, because if you switch him out for Caulifla and you do a combo, let's say 2 or 3 strike cards, it's insane. And she already does so much damage. The second thing which makes Kaba really cool is either you swap him out and you give your allies a buff, or you leave him on the field and after 6 counts he gets a 70% blast damage increase. After 3 counts, 40, so whenever he stays on the battlefield, his strikes get stronger, not his strikes, his blasts, right? So this is what's really cool. Another good example would be Mai, also in a future team, because her unique abilities are crazy good. So either, you know, when she enters the battlefield, she restores 30 ki, and the card drawing level increases by 1, which means that you will draw cards faster and you can combo longer if you do sidestepping. And the other one, Tactical Retreat, restores own ki 30% when she is actually switched out. She also adds 20% inflicted damage for your allies, so for whoever comes next. And if Trunks is a battle member, then an additional 10%. So that's really, really good. Yeah, different abilities are, just to give you a few examples, the blue Super Saiyan Bardock, for example, has this kit where when he enters the battlefield and he has Super Saiyan members, his Strike and Blast Arts cards get cheaper, the costs get reduced by 5, his ki recovery speeds up, and he actually adds more damage, which is insane. And same if applies the following effect to ally character Super Saiyan when characters are switched: 20% damage inflicted, 30% critical, 70% critical damage. So, you know, those buffs are crazy. And another one is Chilled. He does two things which are crazy. So his main ability actually applies to the whole tag. So if you have a full Lineage of Evil team and you use it, 70% Vanishing Gauge recovery, 30% damage inflicted, and also Strike and Blast cards get cheaper. And if you then add Cooler's unique ability, basically you have a 10 cost decrease, and your arts cards cost 9 for Strike and 19 for Blast. So that's pretty crazy. And the other one is when he is defeated and you play, for example, the Holy Trinity, which is Super Saiyan Bardock, Super Saiyan Gogeta, and Super Saiyan Broly, he will do shit for damage because he will reduce the damage by 80%. So that's insane. So keep an eye out for those abilities, because sometimes they can actually be what makes or breaks or changes a team. And the last thing that you can also take into account are combinations of different arts cards. So for example, there are two combinations that are coming into my mind right now. One I already mentioned is Dabra has a green card, right? And Android 18, let's just quickly find her. The blue one, Sparking Android 18, with her green card, what she does is she restores ki by 50 and restores her Vanishing Gauge by 40%, which means if you have a green card on your hand, you vanish, you use it, and even if you backdash, you might actually be restoring your Vanishing Gauge early enough to vanish again. Sorry. So that might mean, you know, almost unlimited vanish, which is really, really crazy. And the other combination is the Sparking Ginyu with yellow Frieza. I mean, for one, Ginyu buffs Frieza because of the tags, Frieza Force. The other thing is that if you look at his green card, if you haven't already seen it, he basically immobilizes the enemy, which means the enemy can't move for like a 1 or 2 timer counts. It's really short, but basically it's enough to then start a combo or get a Rising Rush in without the enemy being able to switch. So, and you can do that over a Rising Rush of the opponent even. So if you have this green card and the opponent starts to attack you, I think except for super attacks or special, whatever it's called, you can actually stun him and then do your thing. So that's pretty cool, and that's something you want to have a look for. But yeah, in general, try and prefer tag-based teams over color counter teams for now. In PvE, so in offline play, it's not really that important, but for maybe challenge battles or so, you want to just do mono-color teams. For example, in the Trunks event, you want to just do a blue team, and in Broly, it was kind of depending on the color that your opponent was. But in PvP, if you do a mono-color team, like just purple, for example, and your opponent has 1 or 2 yellows, even if he wasn't going to bring both of them, he will this time, and he will probably crush you. So, have a diversity in your color wheel, and if possible, have 1 or 2 choices of teams. So here, for example, I could choose either Kaba with the 2 girls, or I could choose SSJ3 Goku with the 2 girls to be at least a little bit unpredictable or a little bit versatile. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching. If you like this, leave a like and subscribe for more. And until then, you'll see me in the next video. Bye, everyone.